Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us at this Exhibitor webinar for TOC Africa 2025. My name's Jen and I work for the company who are providing the networking app that you'll be using on site. So the purpose of this webinar is to just walk you through the app, get yourself familiar with your booth, how best to set up your booth, how best to network with attendees pre and while you are on site, and then also how to get the best out of the analytics and leads report that you can export at the end of the event. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Great. So first of all, you would have received an email that looks like this from marketing@tocevents.com. So this is your welcome email. This is what gives you access to the app. So you can log in either via mobile, so you can download from the app stores, or you can log in via desktop. Desktop's probably easier when you are setting up your booth and your profile and navigating pre-event. And then the mobile app is great for using on site, of course, and also receiving push notifications for any requests that you are receiving. Those could be meeting requests, connection requests, updates from the organizers. So make sure that you have both and are using both in the lead up to the event. So first thing you want to do is click on Let's Get Started. Prepare my event. And that takes you then to the Exhibitor Center. So this is the back end of your booth where you can set up your booth profile and make sure that that's all ready for the event. So what I'll do is first of all, go on to the actual event. So once you click into the Exhibitor Center, you can open the event just there under the event name. That then opens up the app. So this is the desktop version. The mobile version will look very similar to this, of course. And just to get you familiar with how your booth will look before we start looking at the back end, I'll walk you through the front end and then we'll move on back to the Exhibitor Center. So first things first, you can see your profile in the left-hand corner. And what you want to do is click on Edit and make sure that your profile is fully up to date. You have a profile picture, your details are all there, your About Me information is all populated correctly. And the reason why this is important is because one, the connection requests are more likely to be accepted when you have a full profile, so a profile picture, an explanation of who you are, as well as there's AI recommendations in work in the platform. So the more the platform understands who you are and what you're looking for, the better those results are going to be. So once you have your area of interest, which you would have it would have been populated when you registered, but your bio, anything that you can edit yourself, really important to have this fully up to date so that you are recommended more relevant people, more relevant content, and vice versa. The more full your profile is, the better chance of you being recommended to someone else. So make sure that you have all your bio and About Me information filled in, as well as your social media, contact details. These are only visible once you have connected with someone. So a connection, meeting, or lead scan. So these are not visible until you have connected with another user. So you can get to your profile obviously by clicking on Edit or this drop down in the top right corner where you can see also your contacts. So any contacts that you've made previously, at this event, and then all contacts is over all time at any TOC event. You can also export all your contacts. These are my own contacts that I've made, whereas you do, as an exhibitor, have a combined leads report where it has all your team's contacts. But if you want to export just your own, you can do that on desktop here by exporting all contacts. That exports their contact details, relevant information, those fields, what they're interested in, that they use to register. So it has all that information in an Excel file. Then next along is My Schedule. And again, you can use the drop down to go to My Schedule. This is where you can see your meeting availability and sessions that you've bookmarked. So if you know that you're unavailable for a certain day or certain times during the event, you can make yourself unavailable for meetings. So this means that these meeting slots are not going to show on your profile, so no one's able to book a meeting at that time. So you can manage your own availability or in bulk. You can also manage your team meetings. This takes you into the Exhibitor Center, which I'll go into shortly, but just so you know, there's a shortcut there to also manage your booth availability. And then my bookmarks, this will also be populated once you start to bookmark other companies' products. So as a user, this is really a handy place to start bookmarking sessions that you want to attend, arranging meetings, making sure those don't clash, and saving content that you want to look back at after the event. Then also under My Profile is another shortcut to the Exhibitor Center. Then we can also have a look at your settings where you can change the language of the app. You can decide if you're as visible as online or offline. You can adjust your email notifications, but of course, these are really important because it includes things like meeting requests, connection requests, things that you may have missed. You can also link your Google Calendar. So as soon as you have a meeting booked or a session saved, those are then pushed straight to your Google Calendar with a live sync. So you can connect your own Gmail account to the app. Then your email address, this is the email address that we use to create your account. It's what you would have used to register, but you can add a secondary email address to be able to log in using either or. So you can add a secondary email address that pings off a confirmation email to the secondary address. Once that's confirmed, both will appear, meaning you can log in using either email or username. But the primary is where emails are sent to. So one-time pins, meeting requests, those will always go to the primary. So whichever email that you want to use on site, make sure that's your primary. Then you can change your password if you want to use a password. Otherwise, you can just use one-time logins. You can set up two-step verification for extra security, and then also delete your account. Then if you have any issues, you can contact app support. So that opens up a little widget where you can send us a message that goes straight to our support team. So you are speaking to a live person. Or you can search for help. So searching for any help articles. As an exhibitor, there's a bunch of help articles which explain how to book meetings, how to manage your booth. So if you are someone who likes to read help articles, then please by all means have a look at our help center. It's, I would say I still use it. So it's really up to date and useful if you do want to find out how to use more of the app. Resource Center gets you straight to that help center. Legal, if you're interested in any of those. But yeah, that's all the sort of admin and profile settings. So then getting back to the homepage, we have the attendee list. So this is where you can see all the attendees. And here's the AI recommendations, which you can see a little bit more about how it works. So again, this is where you would be recommended to someone if you meet a interest of theirs, a need of theirs. So making sure that your profile is fully up to date also helps you show on this list. My profile is fairly new, so you'll notice there's a couple of missing bits of information, but you'll be able to see why someone is being recommended to you. So we've got similar bookmarks, and it'll show you what those bookmarks are. So it learns from how you use the app. So the more you use the app, the more relevant these will become. Even marking someone as irrelevant, so using that little cross, also helps the platform learn. So make sure to use these. The more you use it, the better they'll become. Then looking at the attendee list, you can use a search bar to search for certain keywords, job titles that'll show and narrow down the list for you. Or you can use filters. So we have job functions where we're looking for C-level management, who are looking for automation and integration or green tech. Yep, there we go. So this means that obviously this is someone who's in a position that we're after, looking for a product that we offer. So this is a great way of narrowing down your search and being able to find people that are more relevant to you. And there's also business activities. So again, use these to really send as many meaningful requests as possible. Clicking onto someone's profile, you'll see, you can see their About Me information. If they have a bio, that'll be visible, but the contact details are not visible until we connect with this person. So the three different ways that you can connect with someone is sending a connection request. So simply pressing connect. We have some default options which you could select, but a message, a request that's sent with a message is 3 times more likely, according to our data, to be accepted. So make sure that you're sending that message, introducing yourself, making sure that they know who you are, and sending that connection request, simply pressing that button. Otherwise, you can suggest a meeting. So you can select a time. So these are times that you're both available. Select the time, select a location. So we have online, there will be another option, but there is a booth option too. So it's because I'm a member of this help desk booth, but your booth number or your booth location will also appear because you're an exhibitor. So you can select your booth, give a description, so an agenda of the meeting. And again, you can add a description and a message. So a description is the agenda that will appear on the meeting, and a message will be sent along with it. So new business opportunities and X, Y, Z, whichever those are. Interested in your expertise, can we meet? So then you send that as a connection request. Then you can see that that is pending. The chat then disappears. So once they have connected again, then we'll be able to speak with that person. And once then they have accepted that meeting request, we'll be able to see their full contacts. So when speaking about the chat, we have an inbox here. So here you can see any of your messages that you've sent, where you can open their profile, and messages that are received. So you can start a new message to send to any of your previous contacts, and those can be a group discussion. So if you want to set up a group discussion with your team and keep in contact through the app, you can do it that way. And there's also an option to video call someone through the app. Then because you are a member of a booth, you essentially have two inboxes. So you have your own inbox, which you can see by obviously your profile, and then your booth, whatever you're a member of, it'll also show the booth name and a little red icon if you have any pending messages for the team's inbox. So any messages sent to the booth. So once one person's read this message, that notification disappears for everyone. So make sure once you've read that message, you are the one to respond. If it is a new message, because then that disappears, the notification at least will disappear for everyone, but everyone has access to this inbox as long as they're a member of your booth. So make sure that you're also toggling between those two inboxes just to make sure that you don't miss any messages. And then next along is the notifications. So if you have any requests that are accepted, sent, oh, someone's reached out to me already. Oh, that's 9 months ago, so we can decline. But there you go. You'll see that you do have connection requests that are received and any updates. So anyone that has accepted your own requests, you can see those here. So make sure that you are keeping an eye on those notifications, and any notifications you receive will be sent as a push notification on mobile. So that's also really important why you should download the mobile app. Great, so you've been able to send a connection request, send a meeting request, chat back and forth with your contacts, and then keeping an eye on those two notifications. So then just a couple of other pages I wanted to show you was the speakers page, where you can see any speakers, where they're speaking at, the agenda. So this is where you can see the sessions taking place, where you can also bookmark sessions that you want to attend. So this is going to save it to your schedule. There's also the floor plan, where you can see where your booth will be positioned. My event is similar to the My Profile space, where you can see your schedule, your bookmarks. So it's also just saved here in one place, where you can see your full schedule with meeting requests, sessions that you've saved, so you can plan your day accordingly, or just see only your meetings. Networking shows the contacts that you've made, bookmark companies, and wish list is saving products. So this product zone, again, users can save products that you upload to their own wish list. And by clicking on a product, they can see the pictures that you've uploaded, the information that you've added, and a link to your booth profile. The help desk is where you can get more information, reach out to the app support team. So if you have any questions, you can send a message through the chat. And there's also an Exhibitor app guide, which is another link, which also gets you, this will probably be replaced by this video, how-tos. There's links to the guide, the app store. So yeah, another space where you can also get more information. Then looking at the exhibitor list, so this is where your booth profile will appear. And so we'll have a look at one of those. So again, you can see it's got its own chat messages. So that's where that inbox comes into play. People can book meetings with the booth itself. So there's not a specific person they want to meet, then they can just send a message to a meeting to the booth itself. But they can see who's a member of the team and also all the information that you add to your booth. So now that you know what that exhibitor list can look like, we'll go then into the exhibitor center, and I'll show you how to set up your booth and how the lead capture works. That'll be the final demo of the day, just making sure that you also know how to set up qualifying forms. So I'll get into that in a little while. So here you can see all the booth information just by clicking on the Exhibitor Center button there, or under your profile, Exhibitor Center. So a couple of different ways you can get there. So first, you just want to click on Customize. And this is where you can really update your booth. So giving it a header image just by uploading, and we've got some helpful aspect ratio image suggestions here. Or you can replace that header image with a video. So this could be, oh, sorry, I think that's disabled for this event. Sorry, my mistake. So yeah, a header image. Then you can also upload a background image. So if you want to really customize your booth, you can also upload a background image with the same specs. Update your logo, the name. So yeah, you can really customize your booth as much as you want. Information. So again, like your profile, this will also help your booth be recommended to others if you have a really full, detailed booth description. You can also add your social media, contact details for your team. So again, you want this to be as full as possible so that there's no hesitation when someone's trying to reach out to you, either pre-event, post-event, or during. Then this virtual booth QR code is an interesting one. So this is where you can download a QR code or customize it. So making it your brand colors before you download the QR code. And what this will do is redirect anyone who scans it to your booth. So this means that it's a really short and nice shortcut to get them to your booth with any documents and links that you've uploaded, the products that you're displaying. So you could have this sent to anyone who knows attending. It could be in your signature, it could be on social media. So this then just redirects people to your booth. Then documents and links, so you can add any supporting documents in PDF, docx, PowerPoint, PNG, JPG, or a link. So you can add any links or documents to your booth, so any supporting literature. So all you're doing is clicking on Add Documents, Upload, or drop the URL and title, and again, an overview, important so that you can be give as much information to the app as possible. Then next is products, where you can add up to 4 products to the product list, which we saw earlier. So click on Add and give it a name. More information. Click on Add, and then that opens up another page where you can upload pictures of your products. Click on Save. You can keep adding more if you want. And again, that description is a great place to be able to give as much information as possible. So you can add up to 4 products that will then be listed on your booth profile. Next is team members, where you can see who is a member of your booth. So these will be people who have access to this space. They'll be contributing to your combined leads report, and they'll be listed on your booth as a member of your team. So you can see who is currently sharing contacts with their team. So you'll notice on your own profile, you're able to disable this option. So what that will do is my colleagues will then see that my sharing contacts changes to not sharing, and it goes gray. So it's a great way to be able to see if someone's disabled this option, why their contacts are not being listed together. So obviously they just need to go into their app and enable that again. So just a default security option if you want to be able to restrict contacts being shared amongst team members. Then next is the leads, where you can see your team's contacts. So any contacts that you've made at the event. So that shows the lead details, the interactions. So what interactions they've had, so connected with one of the team members, who they connected with. Qualifications, that's a qualification form, so it says not yet qualified. So again, we know that we should probably go in and fill in that qualification form, which I'll show you shortly. And then if you want to be assigned to another member, you can search for another team member and assign it to them rather. Then next along is one of my favorite features is the AI recommended leads. So these are people who've visited your booth, connected with you, or had some sort of interaction with you, but have not yet been connected with. So this is a great place to come and find people who are genuinely interested because they've had some kind of interaction with you. And here we can see that interaction score. So you can click on view interactions. So they've had 1 visit to the exhibitor page. So not necessarily the most in-depth interaction, But if they keep coming back, they've clicked on your product, they've downloaded your document, the more interested they are in your booth, the better that score will be. And you'll be able to see a picture build on someone who is genuinely interested in your products or services. So you can see a couple of bits of information about them. But if you click on View Interactions, you can click on Profile and then click on the Connect button, which then opens at the front end of the app. And we can shortly just connect or send a meeting request. So this would be a great place if someone has a high interaction score to say, I see you've been interested in this product. Do you want to meet to discuss further? So a great place also to send really relevant connection requests. So if this has been followed up with someone, you can assign it to yourself or assign it to a team member. And once the connection request is sent, you'll be able to see that status update. So this is refreshed every 6 hours, so worth coming back once or twice a day just to see how that has changed and updated. Then next is the lead qualification. So this is where you can create a qualification form to be displayed as soon as you have scanned a lead through the app. So why this is really important is because you can create a standardized form for your sales team or whoever's part of your team to be able to scan a lead, be shown the form and fill in the answers. So it's a standardized way of collecting information. So great for your sales team, marketing team to be able to follow up afterwards with the information that they gather while on site. So these are some questions that I added earlier. So what brings you to the event today? That's a multiple question. What area of products and services are you interested in most? Again, another multiple choice. How soon are you planning to make a decision? What best describes your role? But these can be any questions and answers that you want to ask. So how you do that is create a new qualification field. So that could be a single choice, multiple choice, or long text. So what you want to do is drag one of these options into your form, wherever you want it to be, and then click on the pencil to edit the qualification field. So this could be something like, how interested are you in a follow-up after the event? So your options could be book a demo or a call ASAP. So that's someone who's really interested. Option 2, we edit. That could be send me more info, save those. Add me to a newsletter. And no follow-up needed could be another answer. So then your marketing team would know exactly what to do after this event to that lead. So we just close that and we can see our new question there. So then you can drag and drop any of these to lead the questions and make this form your own. What I would say though is, and it does mention it here, once a qualification field is filled for a contact, it cannot be removed or edited in the form. So the reason that is because once you've started using this form to keep the data as clean as possible, it avoids you being able to delete questions, edit questions, because then the data gets a little bit messy. So make sure that you're super happy with your qualification form before you start at the event. Make sure that your sales team, marketing team have all approved the questions. You're happy with how they look and what you're asking, because once you started scanning leads, it's very hard to then go back and start changing things. Great. So this is what's going to show as soon as we scan a lead. By default, there's always going to be a score or free type note, so we can ignore those. And then once you've made contact, scan our leads, then you can download the full leads report. So I'll scan a lead first before we go ahead with that. So what I'm going to do is change my screen sharing to my mobile. Okay. So we've got the mobile app now. And you'll notice it's all very similar, of course, but there is a QR code in the bottom navigation bar. So that is your lead capture tool. So we click on that QR code. It brings up our camera. The first time you use it, it'll ask if you can use the camera. So you just agree to be able to use the camera. And then all you're doing is hovering the camera over the QR code that will be printed on the badge, and it says contact saved. So then you can, sorry, the qualify button. That will open up your qualification form. So click qualify, and here you can see the options that we were creating a few moments ago. So they are looking for networking and partnerships. They're interested in product B. They're looking to make a decision in the next 3 to 6 months, and they are part of a decision-making team. They want to send more info and, pretty good chat, so we'll give them a rating out of 4. If you wanted to add any free type notes to remind yourself about your conversation, you can add those there and just click on save. So then that takes you straight back to those lead scanning, so you can scan your next badge. But the beauty of adding that qualification form is that it's then really quick to add notes and what you want to understand about that lead while you're scanning. Then if you want to see your latest scan, you can click on the profile picture or the little profile icon in the top right corner. So you click on that icon, it shows you your latest scans, the test lead. So if you want, you can click on their profile, book a meeting if you want to, but you can also edit the qualification. So if you want to go back and add more information, you can go back and edit, click on save. And so that information is always there and ready to edit. So now you'll be able to see, obviously, contact details are visible and the context is visible on the profile. So when we met this person, so that's also great to have that information. Great. So stop sharing from here. And back to the, yep, here we go. So, refresh, because we've obviously made a new contact. So yeah, you can export all leads or define specific leads to look at. So you can add a date range or the context and how you met someone. So connected with, had a meeting with, or chat. But we obviously want to see everyone. So we click on download. That then creates an Excel file where you can see the new contacts we have made. So you've got all the information that they use to register, the contact details. This will be more full than mine, just test profile. The job function, area of interest, how you connect with them, so badge scan by exhibitor. When you first connected with them, who connected with them first, and then you've got the scoring, notes that were added, interaction score, and that'll be filled up obviously after 6 hours. And then the answers to the qualification form that we filled in. So all the information is there that you need. So this is the first list, that first contact list of unique contacts, the first time that you met this person. But if that test lead then went and had a meeting with another one of my colleagues, that will then appear in the contacts, including duplicates tab. So just know that you'll be able to see 2 lists of contacts. If they had multiple interactions, they'll appear in a second. And also, obviously, your meeting is confirmed, which is empty at the moment. But we can see on the meetings tab here now that there's a pending meeting request with that little red icon. So here we can see invitation. This has been sent. Pending is a meeting that has been sent by myself to test meeting. But we have a meeting request invitation coming from test lead. So what you can do is click on that meeting to change the status from pending to accepted. So now test lead will get a notification to say the meeting's been accepted. And because it was requested to the booth, that's obviously quite general. So what you want to do is assign a member. So I can assign it to myself. I think it's because I've got another meeting at that time, sorry. So yeah, you could do test colleague, save it to their diary, which means that obviously the test lead now knows who they're meeting with, and test colleague has that meeting in their diary. So that's now all been approved, and we'll be able to see test colleague now in the contacts list of colleagues, sorry, test lead. And the interaction score. So connected, had a meeting, had a chat. So you can see that score, obviously it's sitting at 0 because it's not been 6 hours, but that interaction score is live. So this is a great place to be able to manage your leads, manage your team, manage your booth. So making the most of any AI recommended leads, your contacts, making sure follow-ups taking place, and then obviously the leads qualification form, really important to have that set up before you go on site so that you are super prepared, your team has that form ready in the app and you can make the most of it. Great. That is everything that I wanted to get through today. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch. And of course, there's the help desk, the app center, if you want to be able to reach our support team if you're having any technical difficulties. But good luck at the event and wishing you many leads and a lot of success. Thank you so much.